Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday, July 24th, 2016, and we don't really have a whole lot of time today, but we're gonna do something because I committed to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so that's good. Probably would have never do it yesterday, but then you wouldn't rely on me being here today, so, well, let's get on with it. So, when we just left off, we found out a lot of problems that we had saving the map. Not exactly sure what the specific issue was, but basically... Oh, hey Mir. But basically the settings that we apply on the tiles, and presumably the pieces as well, for a dynamic material wouldn't stick. It wouldn't be saved. So we put them transient so that they wouldn't be saved with a level, right? And they'd be regenerated on each time. This means that we then need to add them every time we start. So we added this on construction override, which means that when things are placed in either the editor or the level, they will call this. It's weird. Thought I saw something on the monitor which shouldn't have any window up for that anyway. Which then calls our update mesh, which sets the mesh and then sets the parameters. So it assigns the tile, so no matter whenever we turn on the map, it will have the material and the mesh associated with it. Because before when we did that, it just showed up like an empty box, because the box component would be created no problem, but the mesh wouldn't. I'm not really sure why we had the box component. I mean, it makes sense a little bit, because if the mesh is not drawn, we can't click on it. We have to click on something, so the box gives us a tiny handle to attach to. This is the main menu, so we can actually show the main menu, why not? So a server can create a game, which gives them the access to the list. They don't have any spawn points yet, though, because we're now working on building a data structure of some sort to store all of the maps, such that we can, well, such that we can tell what maps are available and what maps are loadable, and populate the mode and the map appropriately, which would populate this appropriately, and this would be the number of players connected, which should have something, but we disconnected it. As you can see here, these are disabled because the client is not the host in the menu sense, not host in the server sense. Server is a server. Could be dedicated server, there could be no one on it. Like no one playing the game through it. Everyone could be a remote client connecting to it. But one of them still has to be host to set up the game, right? And that's that. So, right. But what we did last time was we added 2 maps. We're actually going to add 2 more. And we have it set up such that it's game type and map name in camel case. So that'll with a snake between the game mode and the map name. So it's battle chessboard, battle cross streams, which is kind of consistent with our menu level. I put menu level originally as the game mode in the map name, in the way we're setting up our map names, because I didn't want to confuse it with menu, like a menu screen, even though I ended up calling it screen, I think, eventually. Yeah, I called it screen. Anyway. Gave myself leeway I didn't use. Right, so let's load cross streams. Why not? So now we have this map that's a 64 by 64 grid, and we have each of these tiles showing up correctly with material, and if we were to play the game, I mean, no one's spawning correctly because there's no spawn points associated with it, but the thanks, Sound Gecko. And Mirror, of course. I think I already said that, though. And the highlight's not working, but I don't think I implemented that yet. I think I stopped doing that and started doing UI instead. So, yeah. So now we have all of these maps. We can use this to, well, we'll then do a save as. Do we want to do that yet? Yeah, we will. Okay, so we're gonna have. Well, first off, let's actually see what the game modes we had set up were. I guess I could have just done it through here, but yeah. So we had Battle, CTF, and Siege. So I'm guessing we'll probably have chessboard for all three. Sorry, for chessboard will be Battle or CTF, and cross streams will be Battle, CTF, or Siege. Because I don't exactly know how you would siege a chessboard. There's no castle walls or anything, right? Whereas cross streams, if you remember from the 2014 or 2015 version, 2014-2015 version, there was a castle wall. So yeah, we will have both of them for Battle and CTF, but only cross streams for Siege. We're going to work on the Battle maps first, and then we're going to branch them out to the CTF or Siege, in the case of cross streams at least. In the Siege mode, I mean. Because Battle will be kind of default, there probably won't be anything in a Battle map that won't be also in a CTF or a Siege map. Although it's possible for that. If I do, I'll then go back and modify it through. But we're going to be cutting some placeholders in there right now, which we're going to overwrite later when we actually add the thing. So I don't have to make a change on one map and then duplicate change in the other map. I can just make it on that one map, have it built up to the point where it forks, and then copy it over. But I can't wait until that point because I don't want to make maps before I have a game set up. So I'm going to just have a copy now that's going to be deleted and replaced later on. Hope the explanation is good. So here we are. So Battle Cross Streams UMap. Let's save it as. Or I could have just you know. Oh no, that's right. I couldn't do that because I was trying to find the list. So CTF cross streams. And then I actually wonder if we should make cross streams similar to what we had earlier, but maybe a 3 or 4 spawn. We could probably have someone spawn in the castle, so you'd have the map would be set up in a triangle, but it'd be asymmetric. So on the bottom, which is where the original player spawns, there'd be the you know. I have to reverse my thing because the webcam's reversed. Well, it's not mirrored. So the player would spawn here with their stable and whatever, and a king and queen, and then the AI spawns, or in the old version, the AI spawned here with its king and queen and stable, that's, you know, up there. And then over in this direction, there was a castle that had queens and stuff like that. We could change it such that these two are players. And up there is the up there is the third spawn, which has its own setup, and in Siege modes especially, it'd be 2v1. So that could work like that too. So we'll see. Thanks, Sound Gecko. Hello, Dodo Mander P. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so right, let's is that a save already? All right, so yeah. And then we'll do a save as, so cross streams will be the 3, so the third one will be Siege. Then we will open Battle Chessboard, and we will save it as CTF Chessboard. But we'll leave Siege as just cross the streams because I don't know how it would make a Siege map for an 8x8 grid. I mean, there wouldn't really be a wall I could put it anywhere. Okay then. Sorry for that. Okay. So now we have all of these. We now need to have, and we have a pattern for it. We now need to have some way of having a data type we can read that would let us point to levels that exist. And it would tell us enough about the level that we can design in the menu, because we don't want to actually load the level to find out, right? What do I think about No Man's Sky? Looks interesting. I don't really know if I'm going to be really interested in that type of game where it's kind of open exploration. I do like a lot of those games, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm really going to be interested for it. I might pick it up to see, but I don't. It's not on my top 10 list or whatever of games I want to play. It's interesting though, particularly the technology behind it, where they pre-generate, and the active exploration generates new levels. Deterministic. I'm not going to test the Titan X now. I don't. Okay, so I very rarely get review units of items. I think the last one I got was like 3 years ago, and that wasn't a video card. That was a keyboard. Pretty much the only time, the only things I reviewed was I think I did EVGA mouse after that. So there was that mouse, but yeah, the only things I've reviewed were keyboard and mice. I'm actually using one of the review keyboards I had. Apparently, the person at Rosewell that had this and sent it out doesn't work there anymore, so they're kind of still in the closet there, but yeah. Yeah, so it's very rare that I get review parts. Most of the video card reviews and stuff like that come from Ryan, so they all stay in the office, which is, well, I'm in Canada, he's in Kentucky, so they're there. Some motherboards go to Maury, some motherboards go to Sebastian, a lot of cases go to Sebastian, but I don't really do a whole lot of actual reviews, so very little comes up my way. And we don't share off and trade review units unless it's to do a review, so. Yep. I do not have the Titan X. I am not willing to spend that much money on a video card. At least not without some massive justification in the future. It's possible if I get into VR and I have a big stable chunk of money, or if I get into animation work and I really need that much performance, even though the animation software I use doesn't know how to use Pascal yet. I'm still stuck using Kepler for that. But the fix isn't done, they just actually rolling in. Anyway, yeah, so unless something drastic happens, it's probably not going to end up being used for me. Okay, so we have the levels done. Now we need to think of a data type that would access all of these levels. So, and also a data structure that would be able to load them all, right? I'm thinking probably a good place to have all that happen would be either the menu or what I'm thinking of is maybe the game instance. Although that would persist with it, which means if you come in and out of the menu, like you join a game, you can start back, you don't have to load that list multiple times. But it means you have to have it loaded the entire time, which is fine. I mean, it's not a big list, it's a bunch of strings, so like, you know, we're talking about like a kilobyte, right, of data. 1,000 characters, like, you know, that's not much. Actually, it's UTF-16, so it'd be 500 characters. But, probably more than that. A few kilobytes. But something you always have loaded, it's like, do you really need it, right? But, you know. But then we need to actually look out and see it, so let's launch Firefox. Let's look at the general file as of UE4. Actually, what mode am I in? In user reference. Okay, I want to be in here. So let's look at UE4 file IO. Sure, why not? Choose out the binary data. It's very useful. Ah, cool. So you got Fire Tablet, Durs. How do you like it? Thinking of getting the for a phone a ZTE Axon 7. It's coming out in a little bit. Looks pretty good for the specifications of it. It's like $500, but it's like unlocked, that is. But it's got like somewhere around Galaxy S7 class performance. So, hey, you're into nerdy. Welcome back. Because right now I have an LG Optimus One. If you want to Google it, you'll see it's back from 2010. And it was a budget phone at the time. It's it has too little memory to install Firefox on for the last 3 years. For $38, it's awesome. Nice. I don't think I made a Fire Tablet in a while, but I'll have to look up on that. Google the accolade. There we are. Now I work with F strings, no problem. String literal. Excuse me. That save game, that's not necessary. Text files can easily be handled using F-file helper. Like 27 days battery life worse. Nice. Okay, I'll Google the accolade. Okay, so we're talking about roughly the same time. Yeah, okay, so it's a flip phone. Okay. Actually had a flip phone before that too. It was the what's a Motorola? Usually any string format dataset can be stored in binary format more efficiently at a cost of flexibility and variability. Example, XML or JSON. Flexibility is lost because data is usually not associated with keys. Okay, so that's cool. Thanks, Rama. And when was this made? Nice if they actually had a chunk that said when it was designed for. Pay $359 for your Accolade because Verizon refused to sell me one, and one upgrade with a plan to a 3G data. Nice. And what year was that? Do you know why we start UE4 connection so low? I don't know. Actually, I'm wondering if the Epic Launcher, they had an update for it. I wonder if it's been fixed, the crashing thing, but I don't know. So we're gonna need to parse strings afterwards, which is fine. You can parse string values into ints, I think in booleans as well. So UE4 f string. Conversion, there we are. To f string from that, from f string. Float, int, or bool. Yeah, I'm not gonna respond to that one. Will check it be tablet friendly? Well, with the input change I made, it can support touch. Probably a little bit better than it did in the past. So we might end up doing that. I don't, like, the only Android device I have is, at the moment, this guy. So, which is like Android 2.2, and again, can't run Firefox because it's too low. The processor can do it, the RAM can technically do it, but the ROM is, which is silly because it's not read-only memory, it's volatile memory. But anyway, the amount of space on it is just not enough, and I do have an SD card I can put it on, but it doesn't work so well when I try to do that, so yeah. So I don't really have anything yet. I am hoping to get a tablet at some point, so if it is, then maybe I can try to make it work for it, I don't know. What do you mean by F-Droid? So are you talking about the, anyway. Are you talking about the, emulator? I was looking up some emulators for it a little while ago, but never really dealt with it much. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with this. So we're going to need to add functionality to read and write files. Are we going to make a class for it? Are we going to have that be our game instance? Or are we going to have it be something else, or what? Oh, it's an open source equivalent of the Google Play Store? Yeah, like I said, I don't really use Android that much, so I don't know. Like I said, I am hoping to get a good phone soon, which will be Android 6, so should be modern for at least a couple versions. And I'll probably root it afterwards, who knows. Alright. Yeah, like I said, my phone wouldn't be compatible with that. Android 2.2 was like 2010, so. Or 2009? Yeah, I don't use AdBlock. I definitely do not use ad blockers. Oh, it works on Android 1.4. Okay, well, yeah. It's gonna be replaced soon anyway, so, yeah. Okay, so now we need to think of the data format. So what are we gonna need? Let's use Notepad for this. Okay, so, right. So what we need is we need the map name, possible modes, number of spawns, and a URI to preview image. I think those are the only 4 pieces of data we need to be able to set up a map, but I'm not sure. So let's start thinking about it. So when we run the game, we turn on, create a game. All of these are going to be sets. We don't need to know the map for this. We just need, well, apart from number of spawns. So here when you're going to need number of spawns, this is going to be the number of players. That's just whatever's connected. Hey, welcome, AussieDapG. I'm not sure how you'd pronounce that, like how you'd parse that name up, but welcome to the chat, Ozzy. Just to make it clear, anyone joining in, I'm not going to read your name on stream unless you talk in the chat, because I'm not sure if you just want to lurk. I don't want you to be, like, swarmed by by other people watching the stream, if you're just trying to, enjoy the video, right? But if you do talk, or if I've seen you talk in the past, I'm going to take it that you don't mind me saying, like, engaging in a conversation and saying your name on stream and so forth. As for the content of the stream, so I'm making a video game, obviously, but I'm hoping the stream itself is going to be the product, the thing that people will care most about. So don't feel shy about asking anything. Could be asking questions, regarding education, regarding current events, although I don't like getting political, especially not on YouTube, and so forth. Or like what I had for lunch or whatever, what you had for lunch or whatever. Just to make it kind of, interesting. But I don't want you to think you're holding me back or anything like that. I want the conversation. So just, talk and chat wherever you want. And, okay. I heard some conversation, but it was Mir talking to Ozzy. So yeah, the moral of the story is, if you want to say something in chat, say something in chat and engage with me, and that's fine. Don't worry, don't feel like you're holding yourself back. So, map mode. Which is funny, because if you look at this menu, it's interesting to think of it from a programming standpoint. It's set up like this, that way when we actually load it in, we're going to have all the modes first, and the number of, the mode you choose will limit the number of, the possible maps. But, in the way data types is being held, it makes more sense to store it from a per map basis. So, because that's what you're pointing out to, right? So you gather all the maps and all the possible modes for each map, and that's how you grab it. So you grab all of those, and then you would then build a list of game modes, like a filter, like a sorted by or filtered by game mode list. With number of maps in each subcategory from that map-oriented list. So we do the translation to make it easier to go on the screen. So one's easier to represent in terms of grabbing files from a list, And the other one's easier to grab from like on the UI, right? So as the translation has to occur. So per mode, so we'll have those 3 modes, and whatever mode you select will limit the maps to whatever maps are available for that mode. And then this will be a preview image, and then there'll be a number of spawns. I think that's all we need right now. It's possible we want to do some like mutations or something like that, so we want to have like, you know, compatible mutators and stuff, but I don't really think that would really matter that much, because we could just create a new map for that, right? So I don't think there'd be anything else we need to store, at least just yet, on the data types. So we'll have these data types. Map name, this is a string. Possible modes, string. Number of spawns, int, and a URI to preview image, string. We could, if we were going to save this as a binary data type, we could store this as a as the actual binary of the image file itself. However, it would make more sense to have it be in the content browser, so that way, first off, the engine can manipulate the image as possible, re-encode it however it wants, especially if it goes per platform. I may want to have Android and, you know, high-end desktop have different versions of the same image for the preview image, right? The URI would let the engine manipulate that, and also it's easier because I can type the values in a text editor, copied from the content browser even. Whereas if I would save data, I'd have to do it from within the engine and save it out, which is difficult, right? So, yeah. The int, we will store it as a, like an ASCII character, which will be parsed into an int, right? So string, string, int, string. And then that will convert to map URI, which is mode underscore map name. That would also convert into a data structure of possible modes, each containing the, modes compatible maps. And number of spawns. I'm actually thinking I'll have this changed a little bit, so it'll be so valid mode. Whoops. Nope. So valid mode, map name, number of spawns, URI, converts to that. The reason why I have it be like this is because originally I was saying, like, you know, cross streams. It would be CTF battle and whatever the other one is, siege, right? Whereas it'd be chessboard, CTF and battle. But if I do that way, then I can't have different spawns or a different preview image for each possible mode, so I'm kind of stuck in that. Okay, so string, string, int, string. Map name, number of spawns. Okay, so let's have this be up in a different window so I can look at it without having it flood my view. So in here, we're going to open up a game instance because I'm, again, assuming we're going to be probably having it here. Let's actually do a close all command. Let's do a close all about this. And we're going to have a base game instance there. So this runs very early. So we're going to have to find a value uObject have to find a value that sorry, an event that is called right when it's loaded. Called after a C++ constructor and after properties are infinitized, including those loaded from config. Probably post-init properties is what I'm going to want to have to do. Maybe pre-init properties. Regardless, I want to make it very, very early. I can't even do it in the constructor, honestly, but that's a bit dicey because I don't know what's going to be constructed then, so... So here we are, file manager. So we're gonna override post-init properties. So virtual void. Post-init properties, yeah. Virtual void post-init properties. I don't think there's any arguments for that. I could be wrong. Post-init properties, no arguments. Then we will over here do ubase game, or sorry, void. Ubase game instance post init properties. And super post init properties, because we don't want to override what base game instance actually does, and I believe I saved that, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's there. So now we're gonna have, oh, why is that complaint? Has no member P. Okay, that was a weird error. Okay, so from here we're gonna have to get a file manager. So let's actually do it like this. Sure, why not? Bingo. Okay. File manager. Interesting to see what the file manager is to find the install location. Maybe for standardized file paths across platforms, even on Windows system, regular slashes are used instead of backslashes. Okay. So now I have to think of where I'd want to store it. So, for config file. I was a bit nervous it was a spam link. That would be showing on stream, but looks like it's valid. That's not right. I mean, that's good, but that's not what I want. I don't want to actually do a config for that. How to create custom config files? Sure, why not? Let's see there. Yeah, so I don't need a lot of space on both monitors, so you know. Oops. User, where to save user data. As a save game structure, but I don't want to use that. I want to I don't want to use a save game class that. I want to know what directory is safe to write to and how to access it reliably. I don't want to use a save game. User folder. There we are. Game project directories. Yeah. No. I think it's stored in the config folder. But the thing is, that would be in program files, right? In a fpass. Let's have this be full screen for now. Turns the base directory of the current game by looking at that. Okay, so root directory of user-specific game files. Okay. For game user. Persistent data storage. Thanks for logging in, me. Okay, so I want to store our users' profile data and save games in use directory in a Windows platform and a data directory for iOS or for Android or iOS. Correct way to do it is UE4. Okay. That actually is an interesting concept. So let's go to engine source of GitHub, Unreal Engine, and let's look at save game to file. Let's look at the usave game. Very useful. Yeah, it's just the base of the actual save game itself. It's the same game system. That sounds like a very interesting thing to do. Create a test.save file on the C drive. So they return game save directory and then slash save games slash whatever.save. So this here, then slash save games slash name of the save dot save. Okay. So they use game save directory. And where was this again? Some management groups. I need to close some things down. You know what? Let's. Okay, so this is the stuff I've been using right now, so I can close down some of the other stuff down here. So search. This is some old stuff I should have closed down a long time ago. Back when I was doing UMG. It's good, transient good, user folder, pass, structure, saving your game with plus. That's that there. F strings where I do that. You object use game director. Okay. So game saved path. I may have closed it down. Oh no, here it is. Game save directory. I want source. Okay, have it be in the content directory actually. Now that I think of it, because I'm not gonna have to edit. Well, if it's a so what I'm trying to save here is if I want to have a mod loader of some sort within game, because installing a mod into the content directory would require, if it's in the program files, would require admin. But if I don't do it in the program files, if I just have it be a directory people just install anywhere portably, which is generally speaking better, then it wouldn't matter because it wouldn't be install. The problem could be if it goes through Steam, because in Steam, the game directory could be through program files Steam. It could not be. They could put the Steam content folder somewhere else in their drive, or they could have one in each, right? Trying to avoid people having to do admin privileges just to download a mod. But I don't want to necessarily have it in the save directory. User directory makes sense. Game user dir. No, not the Steve save system. Actually, some of them are in the cloud. Some of them are not even on your computer. But I'm talking about where Steam saves the blob of the file itself. So if I were to download my game on Steam, where would the content of the game, the actual game itself, be stored, right? That could be in program files. Not the actual save game. The save game through Steam system is could be cloud, could be various other places too. Let's see here. Yeah. The game package and shipping, yeah. So actually, a good question for Linux is that folder have any permissions issues, or could a game read and write without having to be escalated to admin? So user username, app data, local game name. Okay, so it saves to that. So yeah, if we do user settings directory, it's fine. But should be fine if the user is running that program from their home directory. Okay. Game user directory. Because I want to allow people to edit it without needing admin privileges, because it's just a list of the map. No, they could break it. They could they could do something bad and break it, but here. So game user directory. So let's go back to oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So post-net properties, we'll have a function which we'll call f-string gets get a map file map list path. So we will then do a quick action, declare it. I guess that would make sense. So home, Steam apps. Okay. Okay, so f-string user directory equals game user dir. Game user dir. But that's not that. That needs to be in what's fpass. There we are. Yeah, looks like I can't do it like this. I have to do multi-monitor. I thought I had enough room, but nope. A bit too cramped. So there we are. F-string subfolder equals C user my documents would be the equivalent. Okay. Where the tilde is the username. Okay. So it's user directory subfolder. We will just have it be maybe we have to use text macros for that. Oh, they use f-strings. Hi. I don't know why I don't use text macros. Ah, whatever. We'll do what the example has. Registered maps. No, I'll have to be like that. So we're just maps f string file name equals f string. Map list dot how do we want to have it be set up? We'll have it be set up as kind of like an ini file, so we'll do it kind of like that. Because they're very easy to parse. It's just key equals blah, right? So, and I know we could, you know, find some function to already do that, but instead of learning, I'm just gonna make it. It's easy enough. Okay, so there's that. Then return user directory plus subfolder plus file name. Okay. So that's getting the map list path. That way I'll always have it. Actually, we should do a bit more than that. We should also, in here, should probably validate if it's true there. Okay, so we recommend construct a f string with a literal manipulate the f string because the text macro could be weird. Okay. Okay, so f string combined equals user directory plus subfolder plus file name let's do output. If platform file file exists output return output return empty string, and also do UE log, that's what it was. Log class error should do fatal, and then text map list is invalid, crashing to avoid corruption. I believe that would work fine, so let's close down this. Platform file. Weird. Oh, okay. This interface, sorry. Platform file equals f platform file manager get platform file, and then this should be fine. Oh, I can't do that. Platform file dot yeah, that's silly. You couldn't do a stack call on a object that you create, or an interface you create, right? So why did I have the create directory tree first? Ah, whatever. Tree. There we are. Folder plus file name. Okay. I've been working on this project. We started in November, but it changed a couple times since then. It started off with November of 2014, actually. It changed a couple times since then. It was originally a game jam, but it changed substantially since then. Folder. There we are. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of all this. Okay, so if we create that folder, f string So actually do output. We'll do if f platform file exists, output with a dereference. 40. It was a 72-hour game jam. Yeah. Basically, the concept is basically a game of chess, but with design levels. So instead of why are they complaining? Weird. So I'm looking at this tutorial right here, and this is what confused me originally, and I guess it doesn't make sense. Because this shouldn't actually be valid, because this is not static. This is defined up here. Anyway. But yeah, it was originally a 72-hour game jam. I can actually show you the original, what we ended up having. Not during the game jam, and we kept working on it for a while. The thing is, I only do it on streams, so it ends up being a bit slow. But this is what we originally had. So if you look at this, is a chessboard, but it's not quite a chessboard because, well, I mean, the tiles are hovering over the board, right? But you can play, you know, normal chess, although you can only move pawn over one, and you can move pawn sideways. Otherwise, the movement structure is pretty similar. You can eat diagonally, but, okay, cool. No, just a college student, I mean, that's how people learn, right? So you can eat there, let's eat here, and, but the thing is, we ended up having a different method for it. So, we ended up having a different level structure. So this is not an 8x8 grid. Knights are in the stable. This is what I called cross streams. It's a Ghostbusters pun. And the AI spawns over here, but it was kind of dumb. But you can kind of see the concept of it, right? People have to make a choice. Either they move forward and take the town, or they move left and pick up some of the knights. That takes a certain number of turns that the opponent can use to get a better position on you in the town, right? Because not only do you have to move the king over to get in range, you then have to move the knights over, so you can get, maybe you want just one knight, so you get in range, and you move the knight in. Or maybe you want two knights, because I mean you can, you can grab this knight, move it, or you can try to select one, but you can't actually do anything with it because it's out of range, right? So you move the king over one more, and now they're both in range, so you can then move them in. And meanwhile, you're doing that, the AI is getting position on you. If it wasn't a dumb AI, it would be getting position on you. Trying to get into the map to make it difficult for you to get out here. But, I mean, you have another way out here, but that means instead of going out this way and grabbing more bishops, you're kind of stuck. You have to kind of go out this way. So you are stuck with whatever you're allowed with here, which means you have to get out either up here and make it through, or up around here and make it through, because there's a wall here. You can't get the rooks or the queen up here, and so forth. So that's kind of how it ends up being, right? Try and make it a bit closer while having a bit of a funny, knights are horses, kind of thing, right? And the queen you can move anywhere in a line, as long as you're within range of at least one king, you're allowed multiple kings. So that's kind of the concept of it. And then we ended up having when we did a restructure, which ended up breaking when we tried to port it to 4.12, so we ended up having to kind of restart it again, right? This time should stick though. Oops. So when we launch the game, what's the game? 1 versus AI, and we load in. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring it down. Try this again, because apparently it wasn't multiplayer compatible. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Well, we're fixing that in the new version, but it didn't save. Hopefully this won't crash because I never actually did the level switch yet. There we are. So let me launch in. And this is what it ends up looking like now. So looks a lot better. Obviously, you can now, select by moving around. And when you select piece, there's a little death animation, and it gets killed by the queen. So now the king has to run, otherwise it's gonna get killed too. But if I move it here, then it's gonna kill my king, and so forth. So, making a bit of progress on that. But then we had to stop that. Now we're doing it again. So now we're looking. What we're working on today is trying to get. We're gonna be stopping very soon. I usually do between 10 or between 9 p.m. Eastern and 11. It's now currently 10:30. And it's supposed to be quicker today because I have a bunch of things to do, but... Okay, so it looks awesome. Never attempted to write a game before. It looks really complex. So the thing is, and if you've been following the stream for a while, you probably know I don't know what I'm doing in a lot of cases. The best way to learn is if you have a project and you actually have something you want to do, to just do it, right? How to write a game of life for class, but that doesn't count. Of course it counts, right? Everything counts. Just do it, right? So if you have an inclination to do it, just do it. And you're gonna run into walls. You're gonna see me run into walls all the time. If you watch a stream, we eventually get it, right? And we keep going forward. It'll probably be a lot quicker for you because I'm stuck. So one of the problems with my learning process with this is I'm stuck doing it in like 1 or so hour increments, or I can't watch video tutorials because I don't want to have a YouTube video played on my YouTube video, right? So I kind of have to do it on screen, and then off screen I can kind of look at tutorials, but I can't really modify the game. Whereas if you're doing an actual game, you can just, spend 8 hours, look through all the tutorials you want, and, or 12 hours or 16 hours if it's a very light day for you, otherwise, and just get the work done. So it's kind of difficult in that sense, but, slowly plugging away at it. Yeah, I'm assuming they typoed and it should be dot, so let's try dot file exist. And that seemed to work. Return output. Otherwise, return. This will not be called because we'll have a fatal crash error right here. So that should work, and that should also build. Let's see if it builds. Nope, didn't do it. Weird. Platform file. Oh. Whoops. Let's try this. There we are. Okay, so now we got the map path list, or map list path. So we know that Unreal Engine intends, or we think that Unreal Engine intends for us to have the directory be here. So now I just need to find out where the user registered maps directory is. Actually, with UE log once again. That's one heck of a define. And then we will have this be output. So that should be fine. So when we run this, it will create a directory for us. Whoops. Yeah, it doesn't like that at all. How do we do this again? I know I'm doing something silly. UE log wiki. There we are. Log an F string. Oh, I need to do a D reference? Okay. Well, that's simple. Bingo. I thought I was able to do that right. So now we're going to have post-init properties do get map list path. This will create a directory and crash. You guys are not gonna find the file in it, right? So we're gonna have an immediate crash, but when we crash, it's going to log why it crashed, right? It shouldn't crash in the editor, like shouldn't crash loading editor. It should crash when we try quick play in editor. It crashed right there too. That crashed. Alright. Right. Well, first thing we're gonna do is gonna try to find out what folder it's in. Okay, so create a register map folder is right in the checkit directory. So now we can create a file, which we'll call, oops. We're gonna create a file which we'll call, in the register map directory, map list.ini. Save. Actually, don't need to save. It's Explorer. So now if we start again, it will load, or it should load. Okay. So now it loads in fine. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So now we can then add our data to the text file based on this, and we'll call it a day, I think. So let's get back to this for a second. I'll grab that file and open it again. I'm gonna probably need a function that on first install will load it in the user directory, because in the shipping build that will be somewhere else. Yeah, so. But for now, we'll just edit it like this. So here we are. So map list to ini. We will have map name equals map name equals I guess chessboard would be closer, so lower alphabetically. So chessboard, valid mode equals battle, number of spawns equals 2, URI equals we'll not deal with that just yet. And then we will have map name equals chessboard, valid mode equals CTF, number of spawns equals 2, URI equals ... We'll add that later. Oh, preview image. We'll have it be called a preview image. So then map name equals cross streams. We'll have to add this for each one we want to register, and do it by hand, but that's fine. It's a battle. Number of spawns equals, I think we said 3, right? Watching the stream once, you want to jump back into projects? Nice. Map name equals cross streams. Valid mode equals battle. Number of spawn, or whoops, not CTF. Number of spawns equals 2. Probably have CTF be a 2 player. Maybe I could do multiplayer too, but yeah. And then preview image. We're not gonna have preview image yet. Then map name equals cross streams. Valid mode equals it was battle, CTF, and siege. Number of spawns equals 3. Preview image equals ... And keep in mind, when I say number of spawns, this is the number of spawns that the menu UI will allow the player to add. The player can easily set the spawn disable. As a matter of fact, the default dropdown will be disabled, so they have to manually place everyone, be it human AI or whatever. So even though Siege or Battle will support 3 spawns, It could be 1 versus 2, and like have one player have one spawn and 2 players like have the other 2 spawns be the other player, or it could be one player with another, with 2 other players that have spawns, or it could be free for all. These 2 guys can be against each other as well, right? Or one of the side spawns can own the castle and the other one can't. If there's that'd be unbalanced, but I'm not gonna stop someone from making something unbalanced. Or they can have it be, castle and only one of the spawns and the other spawn disabled. Or it can be the 2 spawns and the castle disabled, right? That'd be their choice. As long as the game is valid, I don't care, right? It may not be fun for the people involved if you set up a game round that is heavily weighted towards one side, but that's not my problem. I made the game. I'll tell you the optimal strategies or optimal placements for balance ahead of time. I'll probably even have a menu UI to be like, optimize this for whatever. It's up to you to actually do that. If you make a impossible round, have fun, right? That's your choice. You did that, right? So you get the idea. So there we are. These 3 there. So let's save this. So now we can see that it's listing here. So now we can start by parsing this. We're going to do that next time because it's already pretty late and I have some things to do, including an article needs to go up tomorrow. That's not quite done yet because funny story. So I was briefed on a product launch. I'm not going to say any more about it because I can't. I'm under embargo. But they gave me a slide deck the first day, and I didn't see that because they gave me a bunch of attachments. So I was waiting for them to send me a slide deck. So I was waiting until today, and I went back to my old emails. I'm like, oh, it's there. Oh, I could have been writing this for the last 3 days. I didn't realize. Whoops. Let's rush ahead in one, right? So you know how that works, but oh well. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.